election of state representative
Yes, I
in the
am.
March primary. Tell me, why are you interested in running for state representative then?
Well, I feel that the last few years our state has been going the wrong direction on what our focus should be, and therefore I feel that I would represent our district in bringing jobs in. I worked for 34 years in Anheuser-Busch can plant. It got bought out and was sold out the last 2 years, and we had a layoff. And I chose to take the layoff and let a younger person that has children work. I had enough seniority, I could have stayed, but I made that choice to take this direction to see if I can help those that have been put in my position that I'm in right now. And I decided to go ahead and get in politics. So I looked at the layoff as an opportunity, not as something that was, bad. And hopefully I can do some good for some other people.
Okay. You mentioned going in a different direction. Okay. So what would you say, the things you might do when you say go in a new direction, what would that include?
Well, it seems like our legislators right now have been focused on issues that are sensitive and political instead of issues to rebuild our state, like our highways. I've been driving back and forth to Columbus for quite a few years, and I've seen the destruction of our road system. Our bridges are falling apart. And if we want to bring jobs in this state, we have to rebuild our infrastructure. I know if I was coming in Ohio from another state or even another country, and I started driving down these roads, I'm not sure I'd want to bring my plant to this country and this state, seeing the conditions we're in.
What can you bring to the table that you think your opponents maybe cannot?
Well, I've worked for all my life. I started working when I was 12 years old. My parents were dirt poor. I was raised poor. Therefore, I worked in high school as a cook, worked as a lifeguard. I became a teacher, a swimming instructor for children. When I went to Anheuser-Busch, I worked at Nestle's for 2 years, got laid off, kept getting laid off. So I know what it's like to be laid off when you're struggling raising families. I've been there. And I fortunately got a job at Anheuser-Busch in 34 years. I've seen what happens to people that don't have good jobs. And when I was fortunate enough to have a good job. So I know from personal life experience what it's like to raise children. I have 3 children, 5 grandchildren, cats, dogs, birds, a little bit of everything that I try to support. But I have that experience of knowing what it's like to be a worker, not a politician. It's never worked. It's always been in politics all our lives.
Okay. What would you say are the 2 biggest issues in the district, and how do you plan to address these issues?
Well, the biggest issue is jobs. We need more jobs because we see the devastation and that's the second biggest issue is the housing. Jobs builds housing. We have a lot of houses in this area that are vacant, running down, which runs down more houses, and the neighborhoods continue to run down. Companies come in and see that, they're not going to want to move here. And it's kind of a big snowball. And that's where we need to put our focus at and our attention to bring our neighborhoods back up to bring jobs to our county and to our area to rebuild. We need to rebuild. Everybody keeps saying, well, we're on a decline. I say, no, there's hope for this country. I want to bring it back the way it was when I was growing up. And I had the opportunities to have a good job and raise a family. I think our kids should have the same opportunity as I did.
Any specific plans on how we create jobs then?
Well, first we have to, like I said, rebuild our infrastructure. We have to focus our money wisely. There seems to be a lot of waste I've seen going on in spending, and it seems like we want to focus our money somewhere other than actually what brings jobs in. Back in the 50s, we built interstate structures under Eisenhower. Obviously he's from the other party, but he knew how to create jobs in this country. Governor Rhodes, I remember him as being a great governor. We need to bring the pride back to Ohio. We need to make Ohio proud again. We had a nickname of the Rust Belt. I think it's time to polish that off and get the tarnish out and make Ohio proud again.
Okay. Do you feel legislation should be passed that will stop double dipping, and why?
I feel there's two bills I know right now that are pending, and yes, I do think double dipping should not be allowed. The one bill stops it immediately. If you're drawing a pension as a elected official, you have a choice, and that's what this election's about, choices. You have a choice, either draw a pension or draw a paycheck. You shouldn't be drawing both of them on taxpayers' expense. So I would be in support of stopping double dipping, yes.
What is your definition of double dipping?
Well, if I'm drawing a paycheck and I'm drawing a retirement check at the same time from the same place, that's double dipping. I recently, when I took the severance package from Ball, I filled out a retirement, and I'm going to be drawing their check. Now, if I go back to rehire the Ball as an employee, I have to pay that money back. I feel that the taxpayers are owed the same thing that the private industry has set up for as retirement. So you have a choice to take a paycheck or retirement, but you can't take both. So, you know, everybody can make that choice.
Okay. So tell me, why should people vote for you in the election this year?
Because, one, I'll read the bills. I won't pass a bill without reading it. I'll know what's in it. And I will not pass a bill that makes me immune to the law. We saw that with SB 5. The lawmakers were immune to their own bill, and I don't think that's fair. And I also think that I should not have any privilege of inside trading. You know, what we currently have up in Washington, I'm not sure on the state if they have that privilege or not, but I'm gonna make sure we don't have that privilege as a legislator. And I feel that I will try to listen to businesses to see what their input is, what they need as far as creating jobs. You know, I've talked to a lot of small business owners. In fact, I've been in antique business for quite a few years just as a hobby business, and I know how much difference it has been in the last 20, 30 years with regulations and restrictions and paperwork and things of that nature that harms business. So I have small business experience also, along with work, and I'll try to bring that to the table.